Actually, this first recipe, I have to be honest, is so super simple. It's a dump white chicken chili recipe, and what that means is basically we're going to do a whole lot of dumping, and you're going to look like an absolute rock star. So the recipe starts out in a big skillet. This makes a nice big batch, which I like because, you know, if you're going to the game, you can just take this right in your slow cooker or in your Nesco, and you're going to, you know, be able to serve lots of people. If you're doing this at home, you might even have some leftovers. So it makes a nice big batch. So in with my oil, I'm going to do 1 finely diced, you know, just diced actually. It doesn't have to be too fine. Yellow onion, and I'm going to get that going on medium heat. And I'm going to dice up a green pepper here. I love white chicken chili. 1, this recipe is green and gold, which is kind of fun for all you Packers fans out there. And 2, I have to be honest, as I'm getting older, I have a little bit tougher time with regular red chili. I think the tomatoes and the acid, anybody out there like that? I don't know, at a certain point in my life, I mean, I love the red chili, but for some reason this is easier to digest. And it's actually not too bad for you, too. So I'm just going to dice up my green pepper. Get it all in there. Just soften it up a little bit. This is my friend Susan, my BFF. She loves this chili, so whenever I make it, if I don't invite her over, I try and drop her off a little container at work. She's a soup and chili person like me. Okay, so I'm getting that moving around in this pot. Diced green pepper and onion. You could throw some yellow pepper in there if you really wanted to show your Packers pride. But I want to season that up with, you know, my fave, a couple teaspoons of garlic salt and some black pepper. Just get that moving around. And by the way, if you have any great game day recipes, I need to know about them. I know there's some really avid tailgaters out there, and if you ever want to come on the show and cook with me, I'd love to have you. If you have great appetizers or soups or stews, or what do you normally cook at home or at the game, email me and let me know. Okay, so that's looking good. I just want that to soften up a little bit, and I'm going to start opening up some of the containers that we're going to be dumping in. I love any kind of dump recipe. So the first thing we're going to do is, why are my scissors here, Deb? Just for fun?
For the cilantro.
The cilantro. Okay, all right. I was like, do I have an art project that I don't know about? Because I don't do art too well. I cook, but not a very good artist. Okay, so I've got 2 cans. Sometimes they'll just play games with me here. Those goofy crew members, Deb and Ann, and they'll put something out here just to throw me off. See if I'm on my game.
You're on it today.
I'm on it?
You're on it.
Most days I'm not. Okay. So 2 cans of diced green chilies, which we're not quite there yet. So I want to just wait, just want those veggies to soften up a little bit more before we start dumping. 2 big jars. These actually are 48-ounce jars of Great Northern beans. Get your hubby, or who opened these jars? Deb, you did?
I did.
Are you serious? I don't believe a word of it. But she pre-opened them for me because usually I'm like, oh. So anyway, I'd be calling, Bob, come open the jars, or Riley. So 2 of these big guys, and I want to get rid of that funky liquid that's inside. Don't really want to throw that in the chili. If you can't find these big jars of beans, which they do have them at Festival, but there might be a run on them this weekend after this recipe, you basically can use 6 cans of Great Northern beans. Adds up to be just about the same, 6 or 7 cans. Okay. So get rid of that liquid. You don't really need to rinse them. Some recipes you call it for drain and rinse these beans. Don't worry about that. We'll just get rid of that liquid. And there we go. And I'm ready to dump I will bring those back over. All right, now I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of cumin. I know that sounds like a lot, but we're making a big batch of chili here, and this is what gives this chili so much flavor. And we've been cooking this on the stove for the last 45 minutes, hour, and it just smells amazing in here. This is not spicy, it's just that great southwestern flavor. It's just yummy. And if you put it in with the vegetables right now, it'll allow it to kind of, you know, heat up, toast it up a little bit, and really bring out the flavor of that cumin. Once you put that in there, though, move it around. Okay, now we're ready to start dumping. Let's do it. Smells. Wow, if you could just smell this at home. Now this is totally a make-ahead if you want. It's kind of that same idea where if you make spaghetti sauce or lasagna, sometimes it's better the next day. So hey, game day Sunday, go for it. Make it on Saturday. Get it, the whole thing completely done, and then just heat it up in your slow cooker or, you know, morning of the game and bring it on to the game. So go for it. Those flavors are even going to get better. I'm going to add 4 cups of chicken stock. Turn up my heat. It's my first dump. I love these boxes rather than the cans. They're a little bit more expensive, although they have come down in price. Chicken stock, because if you don't, this happens to call for, it's 4 cups, so it's about 1 of these little boxes, medium-sized boxes, and a half. I just kind of eyeball it. But then I've got a half box of broth here, screw the little cap on it, into the fridge, and the next time I need some stock, it's right there in the fridge, and it keeps in the fridge for a good week or more. If you have the can, it's like you open the can, what do you do with it? You know what I mean? So I love the convenience of these boxes. They rock. All right, let's get to the rest of the dumping. Our 2 cans of green chilies with the juice. Don't even worry about draining those. That's all good. And don't worry, green chilies are not hot. This is not a spicy chili. That's the other reason I like it so much, because everyone will love it and it won't turn some people off because it's too spicy. You can always do, you know, a fixins bar, which is the fun part about doing chili, you know, and then do some hot sauces and things like that for people to add their own heat. In go the beans. I'm standing back here. Get all those northern beans in there. And beans are so good for you. All that protein. I'm a, you know, when you go to those chili places and they're beans or no beans, I like beans, I really do. Okay, a couple more things to dump. We need 1 jar of salsa, and this is basically, turns out to be 2 cups. I'm going to use the green salsa in this recipe because it keeps it a little more authentic, and I think it's going to look prettier, and I happen to love green salsa. If you aren't a big fan of it or you don't have it in your pantry, you can just use your favorite salsa, hot, medium, mild, whatever you want to do, and it turns out to be 2 cups. But I'm going to, I did it. I've been working out. No, I haven't. I've just been playing lots of tennis. And I lucked out this time. I was able to open that jar, no problem. Okay, and you know what? There's a little bit of salsa still in there, so in my old trick, throw a little bit of water in the jar, just get every little last bit of it. Okay, it's a white chicken chili. You've got to have the chicken, right? So you know my method of doing chicken. I have found the best way to roast off a bunch of chicken breasts and then turn them into a whole bunch of different recipes. And so on my big cooking day, whatever day that happens to be, usually in my house it's a Sunday, you know, I take big long sheets of aluminum foil and I line up boneless, skinless chicken breasts. And depending what I'm making that week, let's say I'm going to go Italian with my chicken, you know, then I'd maybe drizzle with a little bit of olive oil and some garlic salt and some Italian seasoning. If I'm going to go Mexican, I would maybe drizzle, you know, with some olive oil and some cumin and some Mexican oregano, or if I'm just, want to keep it simple and turn these roast chicken breasts into a bunch of different recipes, just dot it with a little butter or olive oil and just a little bit of salt and pepper or garlic, salt and pepper. I roast them in these foil pouches on a cookie sheet in the oven, and 45 minutes to an hour, depending on how many chicken breasts you're doing. And just a great way, I think, instead of poaching chicken, to bake it off. No mess. We've got the foil right here. You've got chicken to turn into a bunch of different recipes for the week. It stays, see all that juice? That actually can go right into your soup. And then I like to, when I'm doing recipes with chicken, just use my hands and shred it up while it's warm. I think it shreds so much easier. So that's my method, the method to my madness here. Just shred that right up. And then, like I say, on my big cooking day, I roast up maybe 12, 14 chicken breasts and turn them into, say, this white chicken chili, Bob's favorite chicken noodle casserole. I do a great chicken and broccoli, Devon. I could go on and on and on and on. Lots of these great recipes on our website. And I'm always looking for new ones, too. So get those recipes to me. So I'm just going to keep shredding up this chicken, but I want to show you the recipe calls for 4 to 6 boneless, skinless chicken breasts that have been cooked. But I want to show you how this turns out after you let it simmer. And it just is thick and wonderful. Be careful and stir it every once in a while. What happens is those beans break down a little bit, and that just thickens this chili and makes it wonderful. Look at how pretty. Green and gold goes with our theme here. Nice big bowl of that. Oh yeah, now we're talking. I like to serve this with, actually at home, don't tell anybody, but I love a little bit of crushed Fritos on top. Ever had crushed Fritos on top of chili? It rocks. Yeah, I know. But, serve it with some taco chips, tortilla chips. That works great. And then, of course, you got to do your fixins. So, we've got shredded cheese, we've got tomato, but we're going to keep it with the green and gold and do a little bit of sour cream. Love a little sour cream on my chili, or a lot of sour cream. So make sure and have the fixins bar. Take it to your tailgate or set it up at home. A little bit of green onion, maybe a little cilantro. So there you go. My white chicken dump chili. This is just a yummy, super easy recipe that I think your family will love for football parties or just anytime.